Hello, and welcome everybody to the next 100 1002 Zero Unpainted Minis. How are you guys doing? We've got a new week. Next 4 streams are gonna be focused on finishing some stuff. Maybe starting some stuff that's gonna be waiting for me after I come back. Cause as I told you recently, last week I was saying that as well. I'm gonna travel for about 2 weeks. So there will be no streams at all. And I want to do as much as I can before I leave. Yesterday, if you visited our stream, then you could see good morning, evening, whatever time it is where you are. Yeah, it's still morning. You know, I have half an hour of morning to enjoy, so it's still morning. We are back with my lovely Land Raider. I need to correct this black once more on the last cannons. Then do some damage on the black areas. I need to do this hunter killer missile, and slowly I have to do the inside. Slowly we are getting things done. It's taking so much time, so I decided to switch things up a little bit. We're gonna assemble today these lovely guys, this custodian guard with shields. The only thing left to do here are eyes and highlights on black parts on the gloves, maybe some gold as well, but very minor things. And the bases, I spent quite a good time yesterday doing the bases with airbrush. So we have these things here. We are gonna connect it. You'll see ending process of these custodies done. I was doing also yesterday some basing for the future projects, right? Some gold on the shield captain, some correction of gold on these telemans. So if I have time, I'll do some washing today. I have a lot of minis ready to be washed with Agrax Earthshade, and after, of course, dry brush and all that stuff later on. So where should I start, honestly? Let's do things that are the least fun, maybe. So let's not make any, but let's be real, right? This vehicle is kind of taking too long, so we have to take care of these weapons to make them as much ready as possible, so they will not be touched ever again. And then I will switch to the Guardians, finish them completely, and then maybe some stuff on the body of Land Raider. And this is gonna be the thing for today. So first of all, second layer of black. The first one is done already. Looks good, but there are some parts, like you can see, there is a see-through color from the underneath, right? So we need a second layer of black. We have to be very careful with the areas that cannot be black, like the silver, this copper color. So you have to be particular and precise. Let's do it. I'm gonna use, of course, Abaddon black, but you can use any black. This Abaddon black is just pretty universal. It's not too matte, it's not too glossy, just good enough. So let's put it somewhere here. I had some fun time over the weekend and yesterday with airbrushing. I did even airbrush on the stream, which was unusual. Usually I try to set up everything and before or after, where I have a little bit more time than I have my box, that covers the particles to not fly over all my room. But this time I did differently. And I just, I airbrush on the stream. I think it was fine, I made some cover with paper and was good enough, maybe not completely safe. I was still using the mask for that reason, but in terms of like particles all over the room, I definitely didn't make enough effort to make it work, So maybe I should prepare some kind of setup that's gonna prevent these type of things. Let's take this brush and start our process here. Yeah, I might do also some dry brushing of the bases because I prepared much more bases for the future. Since I was using airbrush, it was easy to actually do a little bit more than just 3. And using airbrush for me is like, okay, I don't like batch painting, but this is the moment where actually this batch painting works quite well. And if I can, I want to do as much as possible with the color that I'm using and to not switch it during painting. That's also like a little bit it takes a long time to switch between colors during airbrushing, so it's a little bit frustrating. So it's better to just batch paint, do a lot more similar stuff. So as I did yesterday, I did like 20 bases, plus I did a lot of golden corrections all over some minis. So that's nice session, painting session. And I do really enjoy airbrushing, especially when my airbrush works properly. Because I had some problems. I thought I destroyed it, or maybe it's dirty or something, and as my brother pointed out, maybe it's just a user error, and actually everything is fine. Just assemble it correctly and use it correctly, like actually use it how you're supposed to use it, not like randomly. So he said, for example, the water is your enemy, and I was using a lot of water. I assembled it from the start like pretty badly. So this is another part where I just did a huge mistake. And he helped me, he helped me understand how to do it properly, exactly. So yesterday during the stream, or like the session, was already a much bigger success and much more enjoyable than, instead of like okay, it's supposed to be faster, but the airbrush is clogging constantly, and just getting frustrated. But yeah, it was definitely a user error. I'm not very experienced with airbrushing. Probably I should just watch some video before touching it after a while. That would be much smarter. But very good. I have a very talented painter as my brother, so he just taught me how to fix these things and move on. I'm very excited to to come back actually from my work trip and continue painting custodies. I want to paint them, you know, until the end of this year. I think it's possible in general. I think it's not something like completely delusional. There are quite a few models still, but they're getting easier, you know. I'm trying to do the hard stuff right now, like this Land Raider or some of the characters. And day by day is gonna be easier because I still have a lot of guardians to do. They're pretty simple. I will not, you know, do crazy things with them. Actually, I should probably check how many exactly miniatures I have to paint for my custodies and I can calculate if I can actually do this challenge until the end of the year. I think so, you know. We are in the end, let's say end of October. I'll be back like mid-November, like 1.5 months. It should be easy for me to work to paint every day. Maybe spend even a little more time than usual on the streams and, you know, painting and all that stuff. So it can actually be pretty productive period. And my I think I'm going pretty fast, you know. I don't know how long actually, how many weeks already I've painted. But we've done what, 31 miniatures. Maybe I need to do like 50 more. If I have a tempo, like let's say I'm back on this mid-November or whatever. If I do one mini a day, of course sometimes will be more, sometimes less, but on average 1 mini a day, I might actually make it. We'll see, we'll see. Maybe like during the Christmas period, I'm gonna do like longer streams. Depends if I have a break from work or no. And maybe do some 24-hour stream. And paint as much as possible, you know. In the end, it's just a matter of how many hours you are gonna spend near the desk. Just actually putting the work and then making it done. And from New Year, I want to start a new journey with different, you know, army, different colors. Just take a rest from all this gold. Gold all over the place. If they will be painted, if they are going to be painted as I plan, they can rest on the shelf. They can be, you know, played, ready for 30k campaign, all that fun stuff. And then we are gonna focus on next big challenge, very big challenge actually, a lot of minis, which are gonna be Necrons. In Necrons, I've painted quite a lot already, not gonna lie. It's not like this is my one actually painted army, you can say, but I have quite a lot of units that needs to be done properly. They're like half done, or they're missing some parts. They are not fully assembled. So we're gonna do the Necrons. There are some regular projects like, I don't know, Lich Guard, Praetorians, this kind of stuff, but also some interesting ones like Silent King, which I think would be very, very interesting project on the stream. It's a huge miniature, probably will take quite a lot of time. You can say it's like a vehicle, right? There is so many details, so many things going on there. But quite exciting as well, because of this amount of details and different things. It's very like there are basically 3 infantry models on the base or on the mini itself, plus like a huge flying vehicle, plus of course the obelisks that I'm excited about, and definitely I'm gonna use some airbrush. I'll try to do my best to make it look like an original artwork, or as close as possible to our original artwork, with some small twists that are gonna, suit my army scheme, painting scheme. Just not much different. Yo, managed to buy Telemon yesterday from Orchard. Nice, very good. Congrats. I hope you will enjoy it. But you're gonna play 30k, 40k, or it's just, his collection. That's awesome, man. They're fun models. Big boys. So it's quite exciting. They are staring at me here. From Forge Wars, I play 40k, but Telemon is collection, I guess. No, you can play 40k with Telemon, I believe. Maybe as a legend, or maybe actually it's just a regular unit, It's possible it's just a regular unit. Since, there was this merge between... yeah, of course you can. Yeah, exactly. But he's not that good. Oh, really? Okay. That's interesting. Because I played him 40k, 30k, sorry, heresy, and he's extremely powerful. He's better toughness than the other dreadnoughts. He has more wounds, better guns. In general, he's probably one of the best dreadnoughts in Horus Heresy. But to be fair, the dreadnoughts are completely busted in Horus Heresy, so it's not like something that unimaginable, because they are just good overall. And if he's bigger and more tough and everything, then he's just even better. He's just super expensive. He's like over 400 points. I was playing him like with these specific weapons, and he got like 435 points, which is huge. It's like 8 custodies, because regular dreadnoughts are like 250, something like that, so it's quite a big bump in cost, but completely justified, in my opinion. I mean, the odds of killing this stuff is just so low. You need to build specifically against them or have some units specifically with weapons that are good against them. Otherwise, you know, just trying to hurt them with bolters or something, it's not, usually it's not gonna work well. But they can be impressive. I hope. We'll see. I might actually do one Telemon before travel during the week now. I think would be fun. Because I don't use like some strange or difficult painting scheme, so they are just ready to be washed. Maybe I can do it even today, like wash them, then tomorrow dry brush some details, glue them to the base, because yesterday, as I was saying, in the base, I used some wooden parts to make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit bigger as well. I can show you. I used these kind of parts to make it a little bit more 3D, right? And then just place the guy somewhere here, maybe just walking this way. We'll see about that. And yeah, it will be a fun project to do before traveling. We're gonna see about that though, because unfortunately I do have a lot of work as well, and work from home too. And probably, honestly, I shouldn't even do the streams now and paint. Probably I should just put it aside and, you know, do my job. But it is what it is. I need this painting. I'm gonna have so much break anyway. So, you know, priorities, right? Priorities. I deserve some, you know, hobby time. I work enough. There we go. Francois, welcome. Welcome back, brother. How's it going? So I didn't unfortunately play anything during the weekend. We were spending some nice quality family time, some parties, you know, as well. It was nice, very nice. Maybe I will be able to catch some game during the week. That would be awesome. Because I still need one more game for my Necromunda campaign cycle before the weekend, basically. Because during the weekend there's another cycle, so usually we try to play like 2 games in one cycle. And these 2 games are, you know, are giving money, are giving experience and everything. All other games you can play with your gang and everything, but they don't actually give anything. We did this just to balance things out, and you know, if people are having too much time and they're playing a lot, do not just jump before everybody too quickly, you know. Francois, pretty well, dear. That's good, that's good. Just a regular life stuff, I guess. Did you manage to paint something interesting lately? How's your night doing? I don't know if you've been here while I was telling the story about the exactly the night that you're painting. You used to paint at least. So this is the nice night with the huge gun and the sword. So I was playing 30k Forest Heresy, and this night charged my Venatari guard, Venatari squad, 5 guys, and I thought, okay, well, this knight is huge. This knight is basically just killing stuff with his touch in melee, right? He can use like initiative 2 attack, and if he wounds, he doesn't need to. It's like automatic hit. If he wounds you, you die. You can throw your invulnerable save, but in general, you die. So what happened was, he charged me. He did this stuff. He did this attack, but only 3 guys were in base-to-base touch. So he managed to wound only 2 on 2 up. And then I saved 2 invulnerable saves on 6s, so he didn't kill anything, and then I just melt bomb him and he died. So it was pretty interesting stuff, you know. And pretty funny as well. Not for my opponent, but the situation was ridiculous, not gonna lie. And I spent a lot of last week recovering from my road trip. Oh, damn. Yeah, road trips sounds exhausting. I am not the biggest fan of driving long distances. So I'm not doing that very often. Also here, there's not really no actually space to do that, but I guess in US definitely you can do some nice road trips. In US you have so much different biomes and interesting nature that this kind of like traveling and visiting places is actually it can be quite fun. You can go to the desert, you can go to the national parks, you can go to the lakes. So many beautiful places. Just, you know, roam around, enjoy the nature. One of my family members was in US doing this road trip stuff all around the both coasts, I think. Yeah, it was West Coast and East Coast. Just I think different times. 1 year West Coast, 1 year East Coast. And yeah, it was the best time of her life, so. Amazing pictures, nice people, nice places. You have like 50 states, right? I think exactly 50 states. And all these states are basically like sizes of countries for the majority of times. There's just so much different landmarks and nature there that probably each state can offer something interesting. We used to do that one day when I visit US, or maybe I'll move to US one day for work or whatever. That's gonna be one of my goals. I would assume though it's quite expensive. Just to roam around. I don't know if petrol is expensive or not in US. Europe definitely has not a great time, driving petrol vehicles. Maybe electric ones in the cities are fine, but for the road trip, I don't think it's possible. Especially in Europe, you have to actually change the countries if you're traveling long distances. There's different infrastructure regarding, if the country has a lot of electric chargers or not. And petrol, I would think it's, probably one of the most expensive places for petrol. But honestly, I just don't know the US prices in this department. It's like, what, $1.50 per liter? I don't know how many gallons is it exactly, but I think gallon is more liters, right? But honestly, this imperial versus metric system is quite confusing. But also interesting that gas is pretty cheap here compared to the rest of the world. Average $3.50 USD per 3.2 liters. Okay. So let's. So actually, it's not that much different. I thought it's way cheaper, I guess. Compared to where I'm at now, I pay 3.2 per gallon. Yeah, okay. So exactly, 1 liter is like $1. I pay half dollar for 1 liter, yeah. But Middle East it's a little bit different. Okay, so it's actually not that bad traveling. It's more expensive doing that in Europe. You'd pay in Europe for a gallon, what, 4 or 5, yeah, like 4.5 or $5 probably. Okay, so well, if you start to take into account like longer distances and big amount of kilometers that you have to do, then definitely it's stacking up, this price. Good thing in Europe, you can walk actually. In many places you can walk. There's public transportation. There's a lot of trains. So many trains. You can travel between the cities with trains. So there are other ways. It's bad because America is enormous here. It's huge. It is true. This was this was something that I've heard. Like, you have to actually use the car constantly, because like, let's say there's not actually like a public transportation stuff, right? or like national transportation like you would have in European countries, where the companies are owned by government, or partially by government, partially by some, you know, private owners or whatever, but there are actually LLCs that are operated by government, like trains, right? So they are taking care of this communication, transportation between the cities. And then you spend like, I don't know, $4 or $5 to travel 100 kilometers to another city, just, you know, sitting in the train, reading, watching something. I usually enjoy traveling with trains. I think it's a little bit better than bus as well. You can stand up, you can go to the not national, only in big cities. Yeah. In big cities you have like a metro or something, so you can commute inside. But I guess you don't need it if everybody has car and government wants only, you know, stuff that gives profit. Then I guess the trains are not the business that they are into. Many things work different there, as I understand. The stuff of healthcare, you know, public transportation, the universities and schools, many things are different. For us, I mean, we are used to, you know, this stuff, being this way in Europe, and just looking at the US life. For me personally, only, maybe it's just, you know, opinion. There's so much, you know, hustling. You have to constantly try to, you know, outdo yourself and be better, and, you know, try to get the bag, as they say. I'm glad I don't get taxes for someone's laziness and obesity. I don't get taxed for someone's laziness, obesity. I see. Yeah, totally different mentality, I would say. In general, like, you have to work hard. This is like a general principle, right? And you will get the money if you work hard. And you will get the money for university. You will get the money for healthcare. It's like basically everything, it's on you. I served in the army, so I have free healthcare for life. Okay, that's nice. That's actually a pretty nice benefit. I know. I mean, free. Of course, it's just paid by the government. You know, it's paid by the others. So your fellow taxpayers just pay for you to be healthy. Which is normal, I guess. I mean, for me, probably it's not a big surprise. I think everybody deserves healthcare. Like, not everyone has, you know, capabilities to earn that much money to pay for you know, high quality doctors and all that stuff. Sometimes there are some less fortunate people. Maybe they have like some conditions or just, you know, some people are less fortunate in terms of where they were born, you know, and it's just harder to get out of the situation. Well, I earned it. It wasn't really free. Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah. It's not. It is paid by your service, right? We can say like part of your salary, military salary. Maybe it would be bad. Like it would be higher if you. But then you wouldn't get the healthcare, right? But then they reduced maybe some amount and like make it into this healthcare. I don't know exactly how they calculate that, but something like that. And nothing is free, right? So obvious. Hello, welcome back. By the way, regarding yesterday conversation, I can show you, because I remember you were asking about silver and metallics in general. So, as you could probably remember, these weapons are already dry. So I've painted them this null oil. You see that in recesses there's a little bit darker. Some places are much darker, like here, for example. So I can quickly show you how to do dry brush, since I have to do this part, but it can wait a second. Let me find iron breaker. Okay. So we're gonna use this for highlighting lead belcher, and that was washed by null oil. Let's give it a proper shake on the mixer. Go. Nice. And we're gonna use this big dry, brush for dry brush, right? So I'm gonna use this piece of paper to remove the excess of paint. Let's take just a little bit from on the tip. Remove the excess. Okay. And then, yeah, it looks way better than naked metallic without shade. So now I'm gonna just gently touch the surface, doing this strokes, and it should bring like a lot of light to the paint job, and bring up all the highlights, all the stuff that's, you know, on the surface. And it looks already much more interesting. I know the quality of the video maybe it's not giving it justice, but In the reality, it looks, for me, it looks good enough, you know. I like dry brushing metallics. It's like giving the true metallic metal effect. Nice. There we go. You just go all over the washed area. There we go. So this is gonna be one weapon. Of course, I will add now some parts maybe gold, some parts maybe black, just to make it a little bit more interesting. But the base is this, right? It looks like old metal, a little bit oily in some places. You know, you have the darken areas. So I think you can improve. Like this is like a basic way to do metallics, to do swords or to do bolters. All this stuff can be done this way. You can do similar stuff with. I remember you were showing that you're painting an orc, so you can do similar stuff with your skin on the orc. So you base your green. You put the base as I don't know, orc flesh or whatever, and then you can use shade like null oil, or you can use green shade. But I think null oil actually should look fine. And then you dry brush everything when the shade is dry. So you dry brush everything with greens. You can start with some dark green, like for example the same color that the skin was, and then you go up with lighter greens and up to finest highlights, and the skin will look very interesting as well. Instead of just, you know, one color, you can use like 2 or 3 colors, and it's gonna add a lot to the final look of the mini. With exactly the same technique, you know. You see, there's no painting details. There's no like difficult stuff. Okay, so this is how you do metallics. Like a little bit more interesting than just a flat color. There we go. Let's wash the. Let's wash it. Let's wash the brush properly, and we'll take a look what I have to do on this one. I think I have to do one cover in this place, because the rest is already painted. I think this amount of black is totally enough. There are some stuff, well, the rest is gonna be just highlighted. There is no need for another layer. There is need to be layer here, and then before moving on to the next glass cannon, I'm gonna actually do highlights on my gardens with shields, so I can glue them, paint them, and you know, assemble them to the base. Here we go. Sounds great. Just the skin areas are small. It's basically usually just arms or a little bit of face. Rest is covered in masks and clothes. Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe if you have like Age of Sigmar orcs, then it's a little easier to do. But definitely you can do it with smaller brush. You don't need to use this huge brush that I was using. I was using the huge brush just because the area didn't require, you know, any details or anything like that. But you can use a small brush and target the areas that the skin actually is there, you know. But you're right, it will be a little bit more difficult. You can use not dry brush, but you can use just a regular like transferring the, not transferring, you know, just layering, you know, one layer, then lighter layer, then again lighter layer, so like 3 layers, bringing up the high points, the highlights. All right, so let's give it a rest. I'm gonna use 3 type of gray now, but I also saw a technique of a black primer, hue, white dry brush, and then speed paints on it. Is that a different technique? Yes. You need a specific paint for that. So you do black primer. I can show you actually because I have the mini here. So here I used black primer, right? And then instead of, okay, you can use the dry brush, white dry brush is fine, but you can use like zenithal white primer as well. But white dry brush is good too. You see, for example, here there are some black things because I was spraying it from the top. So in this way, you get the dry brush in this you know, top areas, and then you have to use you said speed paints or contrast. This is exactly the contrast technique, which will make your contrast a little bit more like shiny or popping out. I think it's very good for the skin as well. Like if you want to start doing the new org painted black, like black primer, then dry brush everything and then use like green contrast on the skin, and you will see huge difference in the way it looks. Definitely recommend to try it, and it's easy. It's an easy technique, and you don't need to be very careful with dry brushing white, because you can just, if for example you want to do metallic over it, you just, you know, paint over it, and then that doesn't really matter what was underneath. Okay, so let's use 3 types of gray, as I said. Downstone, mechanic. Sorry, I should start from the beginning. So mechanicum standard gray, downstone, and administratum gray. These 3 colors are gonna make highlights of my black glows. So let's do it. 1 small drop, and second. I'll do 3 in a row, so it should be also make things faster. And the last one, mechanicum, administratum gray. I don't think I may, actually maybe I can use also white as like a top highlighter. I'll see about that. It's just glove. It's you know, if it would be like a armor or something, then maybe I would think about that. But in this case, maybe it's not necessary. Okay, let's take some brush with nice tip. Maybe not this one. Where is it? I need like nicer. I need one more. when you say things about brushes and their sizes, I got a few brushes, but I end up using the smallest one most of the time. I will paste on Discord what I got. Okay. So I use different types. First of all, I recommend starting with like a totally regular brush, like a trash brush, let's say. Can be brandless, like this one, for example. I don't know what brand is it. It has Sable, but it doesn't have a tip or anything, right? It's just for if you have pots like a regular Citadel pots, you can use it for putting the paint on the palette or painting the base color, because you don't need as much detailing there. You can, for example, use this one, right? You can use here in the big areas. If there is something that makes, make it close to details, then you switch to a small brush and you use the small brush. But bigger areas, use like just a regular trash brush, doesn't need any brand or anything. Then for details, like for now, I'm gonna use this brush. Also, the brand doesn't really matter. If it's just sometimes you will find good brush, sometimes not. I have this random company. I don't know this company. I got this as a present, but it has nice tip. I like long bristles, quite long. It can be longer even. I don't like this short. For example, I have here. I don't like this short brushes, I feel it much more difficult to control. There is less paint. It's just, to super small details like eyes, maybe it can be used, right? But in general, I use it very, very rarely. I have brushes for dry brushing, as I showed you. These type of brushes, big brushes, for this specific technique. The tall big brush is good for dry brushing too, or doing a wash on a vehicle. Wash, yes. Dry brushing, not really. For dry brushing, I recommend or brushes like that are made for dry brushing from Army Painter or Artis Opus, or there are companies that are doing that. You can even find similar stuff on AliExpress. Doesn't need to be original. But why I do not recommend this regular brush? Because it's too soft for dry brushing. You need a little bit more hard bristles there to catch, to not bend on the touch, to stay a little bit more firm. What do you do if single hair starts to spread away? So it's gonna happen if you wash your brush incorrectly, for example. For me, it doesn't really happen anymore. It used to in the beginning, so it's a lot the way how you use it, right? So, for example, I'll show you what to do, what to not do. Okay, so I'm gonna clean this brush now. First of all, you cannot ever like push the brush into the bottom of the cup. You cannot touch anything with these bristles. Like, you understand me? I will use some maybe different brush or whatever, but I have this brush, so you can never do this kind of cleaning, pushing into the bottom of the cup. Never. So you just go like this, shaking inside the water. Then you take it to the this paper towel, and along with the brush, doing like removing the water, right? And also not doing this one, not hitting the paper towel, just removing. and check if there is still a lot of paint. Just go back to the cup. You can rotate a little bit, try to remove it. If there is like dried paint on the bristles, then you can use your fingertips, you know, just to remove, or with the fingernail just to remove it. And then I like to use my you know, just my mouth. I put the tip of the brush to my mouth and just create the tip for once again. Oh damn, I'm late. Hello everyone. Hi Iggy, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. So this is the way you in general use the brush for painting. So avoid this pushing or like removing the paint very hard. You can wash the brush actually quite often, just to not let the paint dry on the bristles. So of course you will wash it between colors, but even if you are using the same color, from time to time you can wash it. Just to it's gonna be much safer for your brush and for your, you know, bristles. It's gonna be good longer, let's say. Does it taste good? It doesn't taste like anything, so you don't need to worry about that. Because you know, it's just water. Yeah, you removed most of the pigment. You know, already the pigment is in the water cup, so you don't need to worry about tasting it. But you know, some people like it. I do not recommend leaking the brush with paint on it, though. You might feel bad, or you might get some allergic reaction, and it's pointless also. You know, there's no reason to do that in general. So this is how you take care of the brush. If you start to have these hairs that are separating, usually it's right on the side here. Maybe you store it in not correct way. Storing the brushes correctly is important as well. I use always these you know, plastic covers, and just, you know, put it inside so nothing can touch it when it's not used. Or for example, when I take the brush from my you know, drawer or anything, then I don't want to touch it by mistake and make the hairs start to spread out. Another thing to avoid, or if you have it already and you want to fix it, then probably it's possible. Start with just cleaning the brush with soap. There are special soaps for sable brushes. You can check some videos on the internet how to do it properly, because it's important to do it softly, and you know, definitely it's possible to actually make the sable brush work again and have the tip again. And in the like last resort, if you actually cannot fix this hair that's sticking out, I'm using the hobby knife to just cut it, because it happened to me before, and I just cut it right next to the base of the brush, and that was it. But this is like the last option where nothing is working anymore, because it can actually destroy the brush quite a bit, destroy the flow of the brush. So honestly, I do not recommend it unless you have to do it. Then I guess the brush is already in not the best condition anyway, so you might as well do it. I had this issue that I had it stored upside down with that plastic cover, and when I moved the box, the plastic cover slipped up, and brush was touching the ground with the brush. Okay, so this is quite tough, you know. This is gonna happen if it touches anything. So definitely, I store it bristles up always, or up or on the side, like horizontally. So just laying down, right? Or the bristles are up. These are the only ways I do it, and for the most part, it's all right. But as you said, maybe you can rescue actually your brush by doing these steps. So clean it with the soap. I have this kind of soap. What it's in general. I heard that you can use just a vegetable soap, something like that. I can even show you inside and how to do it quickly. Just a second, I want to see, is this all the areas that I want to fix? So when you're done painting, right, you take this broken brush, open it. It's quite used already. It was full, but you know, I paint quite a lot. You put some water here, and you start very, very delicately just touching the soap. When you start feeling that it's enough, you can remove it in the cup, right on the side, clean it, do it one more time, very, very gently touching, cleaning the pigment from the bristles, removing the cup and cleaning. And after, when it's done, usually it has some conditioner inside as well, so you shouldn't, you know, have to do anything more, but just find a new cup with totally clean water and just clean it one more time, like, you know, just shake it inside to remove all the soap, and let it dry on the side, like this, not like this, not like this, like this. When it's dry completely, then you can, you know, put the plastic on it and store it this way or this way, never like this. And hopefully it can, you know, rescue your brush. I think it's possible to still, you know, make it usable. But it's not gonna it is not gonna be easy, especially when it was like you know, laying down in this position for a long time. No problem, no problem. I'm happy to help. I know that you are new hobbyist, so definitely I'll be happy to help as much as I can. So let's add this second highlight, this time downstone white. I'll choose just areas that are gonna be more visible, or like into the top. I think this is gonna be holding like so. So I will not repeat the highlights everywhere, definitely not. It's not necessary. It's just the places that are a little bit more visible. I'm trying to touch with the tip of my brush, of course, but sometimes it is not working as I want. But I like to do the highlight from this side because this side is usually much more visible. So here can be a little bit more, a little bit stronger, you know. Okay. Then do it here. A little bit here. Okay. And maybe this. And then the last highlight is gonna be administrator gray. It's very nice, beautiful color. It's not like not that light. It's not still not white. It's something like this, right? And I'm gonna use it just in the, you know, top spots, top lights. Maybe some dot, maybe some small line. Not everywhere. Usually even I don't do these highlights on the minis. I'm too lazy, but today I feel like making them a little bit more special. Why not? So go. Just small touches here, here. Okay. And then I'll do the gold, because there are some, you know, some small gold parts, but this is gonna be done afterwards. You see, I'm using this finger to make it a little bit more pointy. So how am I gonna do this? This is gonna be somewhere here, maybe. Should probably decide beforehand which is gonna be in which hand, in which pose. I have to take a look, because it can make the miniature a little bit wonky or looking a little bit strange if it has wrong hands. So it's better to make it as good as possible. So let's add the highlights here, the glow on the shield. They have these belts. In general, I think it's a little strange that they have like gloves actually, but whatever. Why Marines do not have gloves and these, you know, 2-up save guys have gloves? Are they taking the gloves away, and what they are doing without gloves? What's happening? Are the gloves better, like in the space, better adjustment? What's actually happening here? And especially why the Space Marines do not have gloves. If it's better, if it's on the, you know, premium warrior, let's say, why the Space Marines do not have it? Very weird. Suspicious. How we do with the time? Okay. I'm gonna finish my 1 o'clock, so we have like 15 minutes, because I have to do some work. And we'll meet tomorrow. So, okay, so this is gonna be the highlight, first highlight. Let's quickly do the second highlight with down home. And then we're gonna do administratum. So there we go. Okay. Nice. And from this side I will not touch because it's gonna be down, it's not gonna be visible at all. I can do the small touch of administratum in the end, why not? I don't think it's gonna matter though, as I said, I don't think it's gonna be visible at all, but just the small lines here and there. Maybe here as well. Okay. Okay. Since we are in the highlight zone, let's do some highlights on the weapon line. It should bring up quite a lot already. I know I have to do the black base on the other one, but maybe I can try to finish this one. Oh, someone's calling. Sorry, guys. 1 second. I'll just mute myself. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry for waiting. I have to pick up some package. So let's do the weapon highlights. First, again, administratum standard gray. Probably everywhere where I can, where I have access to, just to mark the place of separation between black and different surfaces, just all over the place. And then we're gonna work up highlights not in every place, with downstone and administratum standard. No, with the administratum way. Okay. When there's this kind of edge, I like to use the side of the brush, not the tip of the brush. The tip is much more difficult to control. So I feel when I'm using the side, it's, it's a little bit more simple. But it's only in these kind of corners, If there's a flat area and you have to do the highlight, definitely use the tip of the brush, not the side. So here. Already with the first highlight, it start to look better. There are gonna be places that I need to correct with black because I'm not that careful as I should be, and that's fine. Let's clean the brush because I operate with low amount of paint. It's drying quite quickly. And I want to keep my my brush working for longer time at least. Let's do some highlights here on the entrance of the weapon. Go. And I will do this part now. The second side I will do later. I will, flip. Do you have experience in buying pre-order stuff? I'm looking to get new starter set for Kill Team. Should be cheaper on the local game store, right? Yeah, it should be cheaper in the store than JW website, of course. Usually, you can actually go to the store before and say that you want to order one box for yourself, and maybe they can order for you like a special like it's reserved for you, right? So you go to your local store, you say like, okay guys, I would like to have this box, can you book it for me, can you take it for me? You can even pay before. They should be able to give you the bill, and as soon as it's delivered, then you can pick it up. This is what we are doing with my brother. Usually, if there is something in pre-order that we want, we just call our friend that's working in the shop. We say, okay, we would like this one, this box. He said, okay. He's ordering, and when it's delivered, then of course he just ship it to us. And in this way, it's probably like 80 or 75% of JW price. They can if they want to reduce the price a little bit. Not that much, because they still need to do the make profit, right? It's obvious. But it's not as expensive as on JWs. As I said, like 75, 80% of the price. And some of the stuff is of course 90 or even same, like mail to order. Some stuff that was already produced, and you can just, it's not longer in production, or it's just made to order basically. So in these cases, I don't think you can have this 75 or 80% of the price, but most of the stuff, yeah. And I think it's good also for the shop, for the local shop, because they have a guarantee customer. They know he's gonna buy it, he wants it. They can even ask to pay before, make like make a bill for him that's paid, and it's just a nice and safe transaction. And as I said, it's good for the customer. He doesn't need to pay a full price on the website of Games Workshop, and he supports the local store as well. So now I'm using a little bit of black just to cover spaces where I used too much gray on the flat area instead of highlight. I think you can see the highlight quite well now. So this is just a first color. It's gonna be 3-color highlight, possibly with white dots in some corners. So we can say 4. Maybe 4 actually. And it should look quite nice already with this many colors. Building up highlights should look quite nice. Okay. I don't know, guys. Do you do highlights similar way, or you just do one color and that's it, or you don't do highlights at all? What is your process? I only do highlights if I feel like it's gonna, you know, change actually how the mini is gonna look. In this case, I feel it's gonna, you know, bring a lot to the final look, so that's why I'm doing. This is like I heard somewhere this is like old heavy metal style, just, you know, highlighting everything all the way, and the top highlights are, you know, done with different colors. We could actually see it on the on one of the winners of the Golden Demon. So you remember, guys, we were watching on the stream Golden Demon winners, and one of the winners was this land speeder, black land speeder with I think he got silver in his category, and he was painted like typical old heavy metal style, you know, highlights everywhere, a lot of damage. I like this style a lot, actually. As a beginner, I barely do any highlights, might add them at some point, but feel overwhelming, although I like to do a little bit like slight brush on the knuckles, on the fist, or the elbow. Yeah, exactly. This is how we start. There's no, you know, no need for much more at the beginning. And honestly, as we talked before, right, these dry brushing stuff and using contrast and under contrast white dry brush, it's actually highlighting, like pre-highlighting the miniature, like an easier highlight to do, because you don't need to, you know, focus on these on these edges, and it's like a easy way to do highlight for your mini. It's not gonna look as good as professional as actually doing the highlight, but it's gonna look already very good and will bring up all the details that you want to see in the miniature. So it's like a cheat code for highlights. For example, here, I don't know if you can see it, like I don't know if the camera actually picked this up, but my highlights are pretty rough. They are not really straight highlights. There's a lot of, you know, shaking hands, touching the flat areas, the gold flat, the black flat areas, which should not be touched at all, right? And I'm gonna have to correct this. So I understand it can be overwhelming, and it's very easy to do mistake. So it is also not necessary. No, highlight is, if you want to do highlights, it's totally up to you. It's not necessary. If you have already like 3 colors, it looks okay. If you are happy with it, then that's good or enough. Do you get buyer's remorse when buying minis? No, not. Of course not. I love buying minis. This is the best stuff. Never regret. I regret not painting them or not assembling them. It's like it feels bad to keep it in the box. But for buying, no. You can always sell it if you don't like the mini in the end, right? Like I was hyped up for my Black Legion army. I bought it and I assembled it. And then I felt like, oh, it's actually, I don't like it, and the style is not for me, the army is not for me, and so I just sold it, and that's it. You will always find a buyer, basically. Maybe not always for the price that you wish, but you can sell the minis pretty easily. So especially, for example, if you feel like, damn, I butchered it and it's not painted well, nobody will want to buy it like this. The people will buy it because you can remove the paint. These acrylic paints are not permanent paints. There are a lot of techniques that you can remove the paint, and the mini is gonna look like new. So, and you can start painting from the beginning. It doesn't look like it was ever painted. So I did it with many of my minis because you don't need to buy always new one. If you find better price, if you find that someone already assembled it and doesn't want it anymore, okay, why not take it? Especially if it's not broken or anything. You can save a lot of money this way. You can even find painted ones, and if the paint job doesn't, you don't like the paint job, as I said, you can remove the paint and do it by yourself. And this is what I did also. So there's no shame in that as well. Okay, so for example, this I made quite badly. I'm gonna lie, it was difficult. So I'm gonna use black and put it in this vents, just to make it look a little bit better. One, two, three. If I need to correct again, then I will. Okay. Yeah, when I was looking for commandos for a start on second hand market, it was difficult to find any special deals. Feels like majority of minis stay at 70-80% at worst. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people know that you will not find better price. It's very rare to actually catch some amazing deal like 50% or so. If someone doesn't know the value, then maybe, but usually people just check, okay, on eBay this goes for this money, or I see on the second-hand market, this unit is going for this money. Okay, I'll put the same price, you know. So and yeah, I mean, you can save the time, right? You can buy 70% or sorry 80% like price new one and assemble it and prime it as you like. But maybe it's gonna be the same like someone else did it and you just saved a few hours and you can go straight to paint. But some people like new stuff and you know adding few dollars here and there doesn't really matter. And they like to assemble things, so yeah. There's not really a way around that, like finding these super cheap deals feels like not possible anymore. The cheaper way, which my brother is doing, is of course a printer. He prints for himself, you know. He was we were talking about this yesterday. He printed this Saruman white, Saruman the White or whatever, because he found some, you know, very nice model, STL model, and he printed for himself, and he's doing the Lord of the Rings armies fully printed. And then it's like, depends the mini of course, but usually the price is what, $1-2 per mini, maybe 3. Depends the size and depends how much was the STL file. And there's like no limitation, so you know, it's not like you have to buy 5-man unit for $50 and then again spend that much money. You can buy like 5-man unit for $5 and just print as much as you have resin for. Maybe someday we were talking about this quite some time ago, you know. Maybe in the future Games Workshop is gonna, you know, sell STL files or something, because it's already like people are copying their designs with, you know, amazing results, right? Like they look almost the same. Sometimes even better. Sometimes they do better designs. So, but then you have the feeling that you don't have a original piece. If that matters for you, then too bad. But I don't think that for me it doesn't really matter. The thing with these printed stuff is that they are a little bit more fragile. You know, they are, you know, if you hit the ground with this, it's gonna break 100%. Because they are not plastic, they are resin. They are like, they have more glassy feeling, or I don't know what to call it, but if you make the resin more tough, like more hard, it's just gonna break more pieces, right? If you make it more flexible, then it's gonna bend. But honestly, I don't mind printed stuff. I have my full gang for Necromunda printed, my cultists, because there are no official cultist gang for Necromunda. There is no mode basically for it. So my brother found this this unit. It's like, you can say it's chaos guardsman, styled to look like the Death Corps of Krieg. So in my opinion, they are looking awesome. Death Corps of Krieg with chaos twist. They have these masks with you know, with skulls, and they look good. Okay, I'm gonna finish soon. I just saw we are past 1 o'clock for me, so I need to go. I just don't like to stop in this moment. I'm doing quite well. I'm doing quite big progress. These highlights are always, you know, taking a long time for me. I'm very slow with painting highlights. I have to be ultra careful. There we go. Just last touches. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. It's fine. I'll come back to it, and that's it. Okay. Can you see any highlights? Kinda. Let me focus here. Yeah. And it's gonna look better and better with the new lines. Thank you so much, guys, for coming over today. I hope you have a great night, great day, wherever you are, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.